Hey people, it's me again. So, anyways, I was on Twitch a while ago. This is probably about like 20 or 30 minutes ago, I think. So, I was on there simply because I was kind of bored and probably wanted to see anybody that was playing Fibbage or Fibbage 2 as far as that goes. So I think there was this one guy that was on there, so I'm not gonna really say his name as far as that goes, but he only had like two other people joining in the room as far as the in the game of Fibbage, and then he was just talking about some other stuff, but it was mainly like I don't know, it was like he lived like somewhere like in Michigan some place, and the fact that he was saying like he voted for Schneider and all this, and that he was one of those so-called libertarian, which they were really Republican and all that kind of stuff there, but and then he was making the same kind of spiel that all the libertarians say about how bad all the public things and all this sort of stuff, but yet they probably, of course, take the public bus or whatnot or whatever it is, which is kind of a little bit annoying in a way. But the fact is, I was gonna ask him if I could join in, if he hadn't gone around doing this whole spiel about how great it is to be a libertarian and how good Donald Trump is, and all that sort of stuff. I would have played along with him and all that sort of stuff. Would have would have followed him on Twitch or whatnot as far as that goes. But it's a bit strange that somebody that like that young could be like into like Trump as far as that goes. And in a way, how now like Trump has like how everybody seems to have this negative view of him, and even now, my dad, who is a lifelong Republican, will probably not vote Republican this year if Trump gets the nomination, as far as that goes. I mean, I had said that before and all that, but and then here's like the thing that I had to go around and confess a little bit that the first presidential election that I voted in, I voted for Bush, and that was mainly because I didn't care for Gore. I didn't care for Gore. I didn't like whiny Joe Lieberman, and certainly I didn't want to have Miss Let's Clean Up Music and all this sort of stuff, Queen of Censorship, as the first lady. You know. So what really changed was definitely was like the war of Iraq as far as that goes, and then how much of a fraud it is now. Like that we now find out that there was no weapons of mass destruction. All they just did to keep there was just for the oil and all this sort of stuff, and saying that it'll lower the oil prices. But no, it didn't really happen. The oil prices went up, afterwards, and like this, and then the whole financial crisis and all this sort of stuff. You know, that's the whole reason why I voted for Obama. I voted for Obama, and then I'm probably gonna vote for Bernie at this point there. That I tried one party, and then look what happened. They brought out the not the sharpest knife in the drawer, Bush as far as that goes, and then we have somebody like Donald Trump at the helm as far as representing the Republican Party, and then it's way how the Republican Party is now obstructing every little thing from the first black president as far as that goes, when the party that freed the slaves has turned into this. I mean, I just don't understand that sort of thing there. Although, like, I completely forgot to mention that the only other reason I voted for Obama back in '08 was because I didn't care for Palin as far as that goes, and that Palin was a huge liability as far as with McCain. She was just way off her rocket and all that, and I think that was just what really was causing the Republican Party to be in decline as far as that goes. I mean, if if they hadn't go around like gerrymandering the districts or messing up the voter ID laws and stuff like that, the Republican Party would not have a whole lot of votes. That sort of stuff, but the whole reason they rigged the whole system is kind of obvious, just to preserve the whole votes there, because nobody in the right mind will vote for them in the next coming years, especially how anti-gay, anti-women, anti-minority, and all this sort of stuff. The only people who will vote for them are going to be those crusty old white people there. And then what they're going to do once those people are die out? Hmm? Well, the thing is that they have to appeal to the non-white conservative as far as that goes, because there are some people out there that are conservative. If you place like a black conservative or a Latino conservative or something like that, or a gay black conservative, gay Latino conservative, or a gay Asian conservative or something like that. You know, especially the fact that I knew a guy on YouTube that was a gay Latino conservative. And it feels a little bit weird. I think I just became a little bit jaded as far as that goes, but maybe that's just what it is once you turn the big 3-5 and all this, that you get a little jaded about the sort of things there. But I don't really think I'm gonna end up becoming that conservative once I reach 40 or 50 or something like that. But it depends on how how my generation's gonna be at that point, and it depends on whether or not that the Republican Party or the Democrat Party is going to change at some point as far as to adapt to the certain political shifts as far as that goes. Because I mean, this year is basically a point where they have to shift at some point, because the baby boomers are going to be at the elder years at some point, and they're going to end up dying out at some point in the next 20 or 30 years, depending on how things are going to go with the baby boomers. And then as far as like the Gen Xers, the early part of them are going to start to turn like, what is it, like 60 in the next 10 years, I think. And that's going to be the next 10 years. It's going to be when like the whole what do they call it? The millennials turn 40 or 50 at that point, and then whatever the generation that comes after millennials, those are anybody that are the teens at this point now. The iGen, like one of my cousins, she's about 16, I think. Or yeah, she is 16 now, and then like the next presidential election, that would be her first election as far as that goes. And it depends on like how things are gonna go with the iGen. Anybody that's just born in the year 2000 till now, as far as that goes. And then depending on whatever the next generation that comes afterwards. And then depending on all those other little things. It's just like on that one blog that I did about a month ago. And when I was at the top of that one park, So, anyways, I guess that's part of it. Until next time.